Are you going to show them your fights?
He asked the other day for it because I'm always watching. He sees me watching it. And then I showed him. He's like, Jesus Christ. Because it doesn't really look like me. I have a shaved head.
Yeah.
He's like, that's you, Papa? Boom, boom. He calls it pow, pow. I'm like, that's pow. Dad doing pow, pow. He's like, why would you do that? And then we were driving the other day. He goes, I'm going to do pow, pow. I go, no, you're not.
You don't want him to fight?
No, hell no. No. Rich kid, listen. Name the best, toughest rich kid you know.
Right.
Not that I'm that rich, but I'm just saying, like,
No, I'm with you.
the kids don't come from that. Like, he's going to have too many options to be a fighter.
Do you think people get into fighting because they don't have options?
100%. Yeah. The best ones don't do it because they could have went to, MIT.
No, I understand that, but like, are you saying
Especially because my son's not going to be small.
Right.
Like, both of them will be big. They're going to play football. Like, there's no guarantee. Fighting's too rough of it. Like, Dana White's the most famous man in mixed martial arts. He goes, fighting's not a career. It's just, what do you say it is, Chin? It's an opportunity.
Yeah.
It's not a career, though. He's like, this business isn't a career for anybody.
because except for the very few, it's a 3-year. What's the average?
I think two and a half years average.
That's like
career.
a running back in the NFL.
Yeah. Even theirs is 3.5.
But the running back in the NFL is at least guaranteed a certain amount of money.
He's at least getting money.
But what are these
This
guys?
is not career, this opportunity, So he's just like.
Do you think there will be a point in time? Because right now, to me, all of the best athletes play either football or basketball.
Because it's life-changing money. The only one making life-changing money in the UFC is Conor McGregor.
So you don't think there'll be a time where you see like some of the great athletes be like, you know what? That's what I want to do, as opposed to basketball or football or
It's too tough.
It's not the first option.
It's just not. Yeah, it's too like getting punched in the face. It's not fun.
No.
The practices are a nightmare. Like there's no off season. The notoriety is not even close to what you'd get if you're like in the NBA or NFL. Right. The guarantees, like there's steps to get to the NFL. There's steps to get to the NBA. There's no steps for the UFC. It's just a tough go, man. The best athletes aren't going to go into it, and then also seeing how many people are fucked over. Because for every Conor McGregor in the NBA, they're all making more than Conor McGregor. They're like, granted he had the $100 million fight, but for the majority of all those guys are getting guaranteed money. Conor's a once in a 2 billion fighters.
I mean, even the last, who's the 12th person on the Lakers bench, you think? I mean, who do you think
the white guy who has terrible hair, Caruso or whatever?
But how much?
But the minimum there.
What are they making?
They're making guaranteed money.
Are they the? You think
to put average NBA contract?
Do you think the average NBA contract, take away the top 3 in the UFC, you think the average NBA contract is better than some people in what they make in the top 10?
Not even close. I think like 7.7 is the average salary, and that's guaranteed.
Right.
The average UFC contract, I think, is $30,000.
So back me up a little bit.
What's
the so it is
like all they can do.
Look at that, dude. That's earns about $138,000.
So according to history, the average UFC fighter earns about $138,000 on an annual basis, well ahead of the $45,000 a year average.
Yeah, but they're only making it for a finite amount of time. And is that $138,000?
And that's not
after
guaranteed.
They pay their manager?
Nope. That's probably for what on contract they have on paper. So $138,000.
And so, and when you sign a contract for the UFC, you sign by the fight.
It's usually a 6-fight deal.
6-fight deal. So you ahead of time, or can you negotiate? Say you kill it the first 2 fights. Can you go? Nope. You know what, Dana? I want more of this third fight.
If you let's say you have a 6-fight deal and 4 fights in a contract, you're fighting for a title. You can renegotiate, but even then, that's like up in the air.
And is the 6-fight seems like a fucking lot, and
basically
seems to be weighed.
2 years.
6 fights, 2 years.
If you're really active.
I just don't remember.
6 fights is 2 to 3.
Do boxers fight as much?
No way.
Like boxers don't fight nearly as much. Is that because they get hit more?
Boxing is just a different animal. When you think about the cards, there's not many fighters on there. The big names fight once a year, maybe twice a year.
But why? So I think I did read that boxers just get hit more.
They get hit more for sure.
They get hit more.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why they don't fight as much? Do you think there's
not enough? Think about it. Like UFC has a card every weekend till the end of the year. Like boxing, it's like
I thought it was for recovery. Like how long does it take to recover from a fight?
It just depends how the fight went. But, you're talking like, guys get 60-day suspensions, 90-day suspensions after a fight.
How long would it take you? Say what's the fight that
The camps are that beat you up. You're in camp for 12 weeks, and then you do the fight. You need a break, man.
Yeah.
Again, there's no off season. Like, if my kid's super athletic, the fighting's the last thing. You know how much money they can make if they're a Premier League soccer player?
Yeah.
These guys are the highest paid.
I know, like, it's so
all
funny.
guaranteed money. Or baseball. Guaranteed money.
Baseball, that guaranteed money in baseball is, and the other thing,
And no
about
head
baseball-
trauma. Your worst injury, what?
Dude,
Tommy John surgery? Who
You
gives a
watch
fuck?
you watch basketball. You watch
watch
how
everything.
you watch I love the NBA and TNT. I love Chuck and Kenny and Shaq together. But when they get up and run to the board,
Yeah.
to see how hard it is for those guys to walk.
Oh,
Now they're
no, their
big
knees.
dudes, right? Baseball players don't have the way.
Baseball, you never hear anything.
They don't have any of that limp or anything. Nothing.
But also, those guys like Charles Barkley's, what, 6'10"?
No,
Shaquille O'Neal's
6'5".
No.
Barkley 6'5".
Has to be 6'7". At
6'5".
I'll say 6'8".
6'5".
I'll say 6'8". Charles Barkley 6'8".
I say 6'5".
Played power forward. Dude.
Yes, I know he did. But he was, one of his thing was that he was super short. 6'6".
6'6".
Yeah, dude, what a freak to be able to 6'6" and jump amongst those trees.
Oh, dude, MVP. What a freak.
You know what? One of my favorite athletic body type is the chubby athletic dude. That's why I loved Chris Farley.
Daniel Cormier.
Dude, love it, man. When you're like, there's no way that dude's in anything. You're like, did he just do a triple reverse flip?
First team all dad, man.
Yo, when Chris Farley used to do, what are those called? Handstands and cartwheels. I'm like, come on, man.
Will Sasso, super athletic.
Is he?
Yeah.
Sasso's athletic?
Has calves like this.
But if you're a big dude, you got calves.
Yeah, that's true.
Like big
You got
guys-
to carry the weight.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, if you're over 300 pounds, you wear shorts in the winter. You know what I mean? Those guys.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right. Fat guys always have giant calves.
Giant.
'Cause they gotta,
What is that?
that's Will Sasso's calf.
Why is it bigger than my thigh?
He's
His
so
thighs are also not small. Yeah, his calf is close to his size of his face.
And Will's killing it, man. Has his own show now on TV. How about when I got off stage at the Laugh Factory, right away you go, bro, I figured out what you look like. I'm like, what? This is in front of a bunch of other comics. I'm like, what? You're like, you look like a Rottweiler who got his shit together.
Oh, you do, bro. Yeah.
Come on, man.
I'm just saying, dude.
Grab that mic, son.
You do. Look, bro, look.